Hey everyone, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you very much for joining me again today for a card making tutorial using the In Bloom stamp set and coordinating dies. Really lovely, versatile floral set with some nice sentiments in there as well. And you get absolutely loads of dies in there. Really nice value for money set there. We're going to be doing a variation of this card. This one uses Pear Pizzazz, Blushing Bride, and the sentiment there is in basic grey, just to sort of soften it all up. So these are all from the Subtles collection, Pear Pizzazz and Blushing Bride. So we just wanted to take it down a bit rather than using black. I went for the grey just to soften that up. So we're going to sort of flip it around and we're going to use brights. So we're going to use Granny Apple Green to do our foliage there. And I'm going to bring in Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay as my other colours. So let's crack on. There's a few bits of die cutting to do. I've already done a little bit. So we're going to do some extra leaves there in the Granny Apple Green. So I'm just going to put these things onto my cutting plate and just get those set up. I'm going to do the flower in a two-tone colourway. So I'm going to use the basic white for the larger bloom there, and the Coastal Cabana for that smaller sort of centre portion. So they're all going to go through my die cut machine and be cut all at once, so long as the dies don't overlap each other, and they'll fit on your plate. Then no reason why you can't do multiple die cuts at a time. Real time saver when you're creating something like this. So the dies cut really well, so we'll just get those off there. Lift away the negatives there. And I do find sometimes that the pressure itself, it just sort of wedges them into the plate a little bit, so you might need to use a pokey tool just to get those off, especially on a well-worn cutting plate like this. And then we've got some Granny Apple Green foliage there. Okay, so I've already done some additional ones ahead of time. Probably only going to need 3 of them, but there they are. And then likewise with the flowers, I already have 2 others there ready to go. Right. Chew! Chew! Oh, hay fever today. Chew! Everyone's mowing their lawns because the sun's come out, so making me sneeze a little bit. Sentiment I'm going to do in Bermuda Bay, just to bring in another level of that sort of bright colour palette. So lots of light tapping on the ink pad, make sure that's really nice and well inked. And press that down. Oh, and hold it for a couple of seconds before you lift it away. Don't want to rock it, so that because you'll end up with a sort of a double image, if you like. And then we're going to use this die out of the same set to cut that out. It's quite a nice shape with those stitch holes on there as well, so we'll just quickly run that through as well. Whoops, all tangled up. There you are, nice and easy to do, no problem. So there we are, we have lots of elements ready to go there. Sentiment's going to go up onto some dimensional, so we'll get that ready. Using a white card base. So cut to the normal dimensions 4 1/8 scored at 5 7/8 on our thick basic white cardstock. Now, layering wise, do a lot of layering, and it really does add something to a card. And the layers I've used on my original sample are what I call my mini layers, so they're an inch shorter and narrower than the overall card. Okay, but I decided to just have a play, and I've gone an extra 1/2 inch. This is 1.5 inches smaller and narrower, so that makes the Bermuda Bay piece 4 1/4 by 2 5/8, and then just taking off the extra 1/8 for the white panel just there. Okay, so we're just going to mess about with layers. You can choose to do whatever you want, but I do like the additional elements that layering can give to your card without necessarily using a whole load of products. So all you need is a paper trimmer or guillotine or something like that. And a lot of the time I will keep this flat, but I'm going to pop this up too. And I like to put one in the middle just to give that middle bit just a little bit of support. And then the other thing to do is just use just a smidgen of my wet glue there, just to help me with some positioning. Just gives you that just moment or two just to sort of wriggle that around and just make sure it's as straight as you can get it. Find the smaller the further away you get from the edge, the harder it is to judge whether something is straight or not. So if that's something that you want to do, then by all means do it. So the next thing to do is to add some shape to our flowers. Lots of ways we do this. Those of you who watch regularly know I have a lovely tool that I like to use, and press it into the palm of your hand, and it really curls those flowers up. And if it goes a little bit too curly, you can always bat it down again. Okay, and it's just really nice and easy to do. The tip of a multi-purpose glue works pretty well as well as an alternative. You know, anything that you got with a rounded, I've got a pencil eraser there, I mean that'll kind of do something for you as well. You just don't want it to mark or scratch your cardstock, you know. Okie dokie. Alright, silicone craft sheet coming out now just to help me keep things neat and tidy. So I'm just going to use that multi-purpose glue again, just to put the tiniest speck of glue in the middle there, and add in my little Coastal Cabana centres. They don't have the same number of petals, so I'm not looking to particularly line them up. I'm just putting them in, giving them a press. I've been a little skimpy on the glue on that one. Okay, and like I say, if it feels a bit too sort of poofy, you can squash them down a little bit. Alright, so building up our card then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the sentiment first. This is going to be quite cosy on there, but that's fine. You could even take it off the edge, you know how I like to do that sometimes, but I think it just about fits across the centre there with just a teeny tiny margin. Okay, and then my other tip for getting the I was a bit skimpy with the glue on that one, wasn't I, because it's come away. So let's just put a little bit of extra on that one. mean, it is strong stuff, but you know, it's got to actually make contact, and of course with the additional shape of the blooms and stuff, I just want to make sure it's got contact there. So we're going to just position a couple of those in this corner. So I'm just putting a nice blob on there, because what I want it to do is to sort of make contact with this sort of multi-leveled sort of element we've got here. So let's just pull that in, hold it in place. So that is going to just take a little bit of persuasion just to stick. Could stick a mini dimensional on there, or glue dot or something like that if you prefer. And then the other one can go in that top corner. Just there, so it's sort of hugging that little sentiment panel. And then we just want to add our little bits of foliage. So again, I'm just going to turn those so that they are face down. Put a little bit of glue onto those little stems there and put those in place. So these just give a pop of an additional sort of colour. So slide that in under there. Bit of a pokey tool just to help us get those into place. And we can slot this in. Again, we want it to make contact with those layers, so just helping that there just to hold it in place. And then this one down here somewhere. So things breaking the borders and things like that just add just another level of interest into the card. Alright, so a little bit of a pokey tool is really helpful. Use the take your pick tool from Stampin' Up, or this one. I just like to I don't know, I just reach for it all the time. Quite like it. Had it a long time. I did a long time. And then we need to add something to the centres there. Now in the sample here, I actually pulled out the pastel pearls. Now technically those are actually Rococo Rose ones, which are one of the retired colours, but they actually went quite well with the with those. But I'm wondering, one, whether to use just white ones, which is a possibility. Could use the opal rounds for something a little bit different. But the white might be nice just to sort of pull in from the sort of the more yeah, I think we'll use white. Could have used the no, those won't go, okay, in my opinion anyway. They're just the wrong, they're sort of a grey blue rather than a greeny blue, if you know what I mean. So we'll just go with some plain white pearls on there. These are actually leftovers from an old Stampin' Up pack. So there we go. Lovely. Don't forget you can colour pearls as well if you want to make them tone into your card, like I did on the original sample. But there we go. This is what I wanted you to see. Alternative layering, mixing up the colours with the white and having a pop in the middle, I really like. Really love how that's turned out. Not that this isn't pretty. I think this is really cool. Likewise, you could have had a coloured background with a white centre, all that kind of thing. So lots and lots of options to mess about with for your particular card and the occasion that you're going for. There you have it. Nice, quick and simple. Love die cutting. I think it's just great. And the stitch detail in those is just brilliant, isn't it? Isn't that cute? Okay, thanks ever so much everybody. Please do like, subscribe and comment. Really love to hear what you have to say, what you think of the projects. Links to the products used are in the description. Thanks everybody. Enjoy your day. Bye.